I have jumped into the astral sea before. Well, I more so got pushed out into the astral sea, and I floated. So I'm going to have the same kind of mindset. And I want to essentially climb down over the edge and hide myself over the edge until he goes away. And I know I'm going to float because I've been out in the astral sea before, and I floated because my moral alignment does lean towards the upper area.
Do me a favor, roll an insight check.
Oh no!
Are we gonna have a what? Is this for an alignment?
Never mind. All right, are you guys ready to start our spell / FeyJamming adventure?
Heck yeah!
FeyJammer. Okay.
So I want to do both recap because Bloop, you didn't get to pick a room last week.
Sure, you didn't.
I didn't get to pick a room.
You didn't. So
Yeah,
actually,
you missed last week.
I did.
You
Because of my dog is.
Poor puppy. So
Yeah.
you're kind of if you're picking a bedroom, you're defaulting to the second stars. Everybody connected? No, everybody connect to the map.
Oh, am
Doing
I
so.
not? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, I'm not. Heck. Shoot dang. Oh.
There we go.
I need my notebook.
I'm a map. I'm a map. I'm a map.
I'm a map.
I'm a map.
Right. Rodo, by default, if you pick a bedroom, you get the corner room there. I just kind of plopped you in the upstairs bathroom, not knowing what else to do with you.
Well, because yeah, I would need some. Oh yeah, you said Roto, by the way. Did you mean Bloop?
I did mean Bloop.
Yeah. Okay.
I can drop Rodo in the bathroom too. It's fine. Just poof.
Yep. I mean, Bloop would need some sort of receptacle with which to sleep in, and the bathtub makes perfect sense.
I had the thought, and
But we already discussed that bathrooms are limited, and you can't have the only bathtub in the building.
Mm-hmm.
we did
Bloop
discuss
needs
that.
somewhere with which to Bloop needs somewhere with which to rest, because when Bloop enters his resting state, he sort of just plops into a puddle.
Is anybody a Deep Space Nine fan here?
Are you thinking Odo with nasal barrel in the turbo lift? Because I totally am.
I'm thinking like Odo in a bucket.
Yeah.
Honestly. That's the vibe I'm getting off of Bloop.
I mean, that's what it says in the plasmoids thing, is when they go into rest state, like they literally they lose all their rigidity that they like sort of maintain, and they just like bloop into a puddle on the floor.
So
now Bloop, I do want to point out, and I will thank you to ask absolutely zero questions about this, but the bedroom with the brown blanket is actually a style of bed that is often filled with water, but if you emptied the water, it would just be like a deflated kind of pool that you could puddle in with waterproof sheets and blanket. But I will thank you to ask absolutely no questions why those sheets and blankets are waterproof.
Well, it's obviously to keep certain ooze forms like myself from soaking into the sheets. It's kind of difficult to get ourselves out of sheets.
Absolutely.
Especially the very absorbent ones.
all right, Bloop, let me catch you up here on the big goings on.
Yes, give me the tour.
Okay. So what we discovered last week is the house belongs to Rodo's half-sister, older half-sister,
Oh.
who is a big opera aficionado.
Yeah.
She's a foreigner, don't sell her short.
She even has a wonderful opera with a chubby little boy who gets dressed up. It's fantastic. It is fantastic. I can't wait until we role play
Every
that.
part but the chubby little boy is fantastic.
The chubby little boy will of course remain nameless. Right, Rodo? But
Is his name Adoring Fan?
there will be many adoring fans when the opera scene comes. TTRPGs and fantasy things thrive on like one big opera scene that brings it all together. But
Ooh.
I've never heard that before, but it's a great rule.
it is. As someone who was born on Final Fantasy, it's just a rule. You got to have one big opera.
Opera.
If you check the reading room, that is the room below you, there was an ink explosion from an unknown Asimar.
That is, I think, profiling right there. And in most places, that's frowned upon.
There is also like ink handprints as he clawed up the stairs as he fell down them that lead to a certain room. So you don't need
Lukifer?
you don't need the best survival roll. You don't need the best survival roll to follow that trail.
What?
Listen, I found some funky drinks in my room, and I thought I could maybe find some more in the office. And these people be hiding their drinks in funny places. I found these other drinks hidden in perfume, and you'd be surprised what smells so good, but it also does not taste very good either. So I figured maybe they'd hide it in their inkwells. They did not. I tried to put it down. I failed. I spilt it everywhere, and I just
That
confessed to
wasn't
the crime.
drink.
Fuck.
That wasn't drink, Lukifer. That was toilet water they put in a glass. They call it Eau de Toilet.
Which is also an interesting point. Luke is drinking perfume now.
Yep.
And
Boy, that his breath must be cologne fresh.
so that's funny.
Petrichor fresh.
He has also torn up that room decently well. Luke got the master bedroom, by the way.
Yes,
Filled
I
with
did.
dresses and costumes, and
And not Rodo? Wow.
Rodo threw his sister's belongings to the whims of a crazy Asimar. It is what it is, and we'll
Very
answer
willingly.
for those crimes later.
Incredibly willing.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, you don't want to take up your what was half sister's bedroom.
Yeah, it's
No, I
much,
don't.
It's much better to release a barbarian Asimar into said delicacies.
Oh God,
It really,
she's gonna regret giving you lay of the land here. She's really gonna regret.
I am going to be content with every possible outcome of this scenario.
I think worst case scenario is your sister probably ends up liking me more than she likes you, and probably adopts me to be her little brother, even though I'm much larger.
Or worse, pretty much saying, would you like to go out for a date?
Ooh.
No, I'm saying I think that she will like me more than she will like Rodo and ask me to be her new brother.
I think
Luke, if
Pixar
you
Lily could
think
take
for a
it.
moment that I have not
Wow.
set you in that room as a sacrifice to my sister's potential dating life, you're a
Wow.
fool.
Lukifer is friend zoning himself.
Listen, the only thing I want is glorious and a righteous death in battle. And unless that's something your sister can provide me, then there is no courtship there.
I mean,
We'll talk later in private.
Rhoda, I gotta say, it concerns me what you're trying to do with your sister here. Alright, she is her own person, and she can decide who she wants to date or kill, and I hope she decides to kill me before she decides to date me. I want to be on the kill option before the marry option.
Maybe she's
What
a
I'm saying is
necromancer
that
and
for
can
my
do both.
sister, they are not mutually exclusive. And also, I am not giving my sister to you, Luke. You have this backwards. I am offering you up to her.
Wow. I love this.
Bro, I gotta say, this really makes me question our friendship now and everything we've been through.
I love this. I'm just like over here in the corner with my Coke and popcorn, just watching and eating and just enjoying this as a player. Not blue.
To be clear, Luke, I don't actually think she's going to come home while we're here. My understanding is that the opera is currently on tour. This is not our main house anyway, which is why I didn't recognize it when it was loaned to us to begin with. I'm just saying.
Oh wait.
You know, you might like to meet her. She is a lovely person.
She's lovely. She is. Wait, where's the entrance to this place? Are these?
And she is
So you don't even know me.
Are these the doors?
I don't want
What's the door?
lovely. I don't want cute or beautiful. I want a fucking badass.
So, real quick to continue with the recap.
Yep.
Bringing it back.
So, Plucky has taken the room here and he has disappeared into it. It is just kind of keeping to himself for right now. I would say Deidre has the most interesting room here. She has a desk with a window view. If you angle the window view right, you can see off the edge of the Rock of Brawl that way. But this crystal here, it emanates soft Fey music, which if you listen to it, it's very soothing and relaxing. Lavender likes to lie by it. Deidre has the best radio kind of thing in the house.
Oh, got like a little music box radio noise machine.
And that was the pleasant part. Those were all the pleasant parts of last week.
Oh.
Yep.
Let's get to the nitty-gritty of it.
Now, my favorite part as a DM.
Before Lukifer started swigging cologne and perfume.
Oh no!
Listen, I made everyone a
up there.
fancy breakfast. Okay, I made
You
up
did.
for it. We've moved on.
And
Fancy breakfast. Moved on.
And shortly after making the fancy breakfast, there was a knock at the door when a red-haired woman by the name of Zabet was allowed into the house, and she introduced herself as someone there to make a deal with Deidre on behalf of the Archdevil Titivilius. And Deidre with Deidre with the party sat down and they all participated in the negotiations. And the end result of the negotiations was that Deidre's soul was split into 3-part equal ownership. 1/3 belonging to the Archfey, the Lord of Lavender. 1/3 belonging to the Archdevil Titivilius. And 1/3 belonging to Deidre herself. And she could reclaim ownership of those pieces with the completion of her portion of the contract. Her portion of the contract with the Lord of Lavender being the retrieval of his wife. The Archdevil Titivilius made a deal that he would release his portion at the death and total destruction of the Rakshasa, Al Monroe. And the parts were potentially transferable but the contract is binding and all parties now have an interest. You missed a good one, Bloop.
Yeah.
Gemma, why did you have to break your nail last week? I missed this.
Lukifer here has a question real quick. What was the Archdevil's name again?
Titivilius. Titivilius. Or I-U-S.
Titty Valleys. Titty Valleys, that's his name. Titty Valleys.
God damn it.
Sure.
I'm sorry.
Sure.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
That's fine.
Titivilius.
Just remember, when you take an archdevil's name in vain...
Yep.
You're officially playing, so technically you did, so just saying.
Bloop is Bloop.
And now for the fun part, the D100 part, just so we get a little bit of a better idea of what our characters are like.
Oh, yeah. I did just finish streaming shortly before, so I caught that, but I didn't know anything since I was like getting ready for this here. But yes, go on. Sorry.
I have a D100 table here.
Okay.
We're each going to roll a D100 and we're going to answer the question in character. The rules are, you can answer in character or potentially out of character if you feel more comfortable. If you feel totally uncomfortable with the question, you're allowed to pass.
I probably won't feel uncomfortable about the question, but since Bloop is baby, he might not have any standards to go on based on the question, so okay.
All right, well, Luke is the first to roll, so I'm going to scroll down to 48.
I'm an eager beaver, what can I say?
Okay,
What's a beaver?
Question 48.
Oh no, I heard someone say.
What aspect of your character's future are they most curious about? If they could know one thing about the future, what would it be?
Oh,
I think Lukifer's most curious about maybe his demise. Is it going to be by knife, arrow? Is it going to be prolonged? For the love of God, he just hopes he doesn't die of old age.
Typically, the blast of a solar dragon's radiant burst is typically quick. But, okay.
Yes! I know all! I will avoid all dragons now.
Good luck.
I'll beat you, Death.
I mean, aren't we technically going after that dragon? Like, out of character, aren't we? Isn't that a thing that we're...
Kind of. That's one thing Luke wants to do.
That's up to you guys. You guys had a amicable end the first time around. I fully expected you guys to try and be dumb and fight him, honestly. But we didn't go down that path, and I'm cool with that.
It was a solar dragon. We all would have been ash silhouettes on the nearest wall.
Specifically, it wasn't just a solar dragon, it was an ancient solar dragon.
Oh yeah, we would have absolutely been ash silhouettes on the wall.
It was
we'll be dead.
The ancient solar dragon in story.
Ooh.
Who wants to roll next? Who's brave?
I can. I got a 3.
With a 3, your question is, what are your character's core moral beliefs?
Ooh. Well, apparently, getting around with archdevils is one of them.
All right, this is Dee Dee's question, not yours, Bloop.
Well, definitely not that.
Sorry, Bloop's inner monologue got a little out of control there.
Well,
go on, Dee Dee.
I have to say, you said my inner morals? And what was the other one?
What are your character's core moral beliefs? What is the center of your worldview? Like, what is justice? Or what is charity? What is that core set of moral beliefs?
Well, I don't really like when something terrible happens to others. However, everything has a cause and effect. Depending on what it is, I tend to go to what I know that feels right.
All right,
And I just want to make sure everyone comes out alive.
go for the
I
sense
don't want
of
anyone
right.
to
I
die.
like it. Okay, anything else to add to that?
Nope.
All right, Bloop or Roto, do either of you feel comfortable rolling on our evil chart?
I'm
Blue.
happy to go next.
Okay, fine. Rhoda can go.
You guys can each roll, and whoever gets the more interesting question.
That's true.
1.
Oh,
Wow.
how do you get? That's a lucky roll right there.
I think
One is, who is your daddy and what does he do?
this is a good one for Roto. This is a very good one for Roto. If your character wasn't an adventurer, what livelihood would they lead?
Like,
Miniature
I don't
giant
know.
space miniature giant space hamster handler. There we go. that's what I would.
the problem is I don't know that I ever had another option. Like, there was the cradle, and then there was preschool, and then there was sidekicking for my father. And then there was essentially getting fired and kind of going out and realizing that I didn't have any other skills to live on. Adventuring is really all I've known. I think really if I'd had the opportunity to choose my own path, I really like to think that I would have ended up in magical research. It'd be really cool to be working at one of the colleges. You know, I don't even want to be the head researcher. I just want to be the research assistant who gets told, today we're experimenting with Firebolt. Go cast 1,000 of them and see if they all burn the same amount, or see if they all melt the candle the exact same way. Like, still playing with magic, but in a completely unimportant way. Yeah, magical researcher of little to no importance.
All right, Bloop, you're the last one if you're adventurous enough to roll.
Bloop is always adventurous enough. D1 Hondo. Roll. 47.
All right, that's one less than Luke's. I don't know if
We all
you'll know
got
this.
underneath the 40. We all got underneath the 50, and I think that's kind of neat for us. Anyway,
Cool.
sorry.
Now we all need to get above 50 next time.
How did your
Exactly.
characters spend their childhood? Where did they grow up? Who were their childhood friends?
This is like the worst one for Bloop.
That's what I said. You guys are Bloop's childhood friends.
Yeah, basically you guys are Bloop's childhood friends. Well, Bloop didn't really have so much of a childhood per se, seeing as how Bloop is, well, an oozemorph, and, well, he doesn't remember exactly much before he met his bugbear master, Yark. I think largely Bloop thinks of Yark as his father. And he was a bugbear monk that sort of appeared to him one day, and his companions seemed to have fallen into, I guess, what you would call Bloop's home, which was just a cave under this place that Master Yark called the Under the Mountain. And, well, as Yark is sort of the only person that Bloop has known. Well, except for the other people that he found, including you all. I think more than anything, I think all of you count more than anything as Bloop's sort of brothers and sisters.
All right, and
Oh.
it is family, isn't it? It's very nice.
Yes, and well, Yark always taught us about the strength of the war band, so we're both a family and a war band together.
Mm-hmm.
Moo and I have definitely discussed forming a band, so you are certainly welcome.
When you say
war band?
Moo pops up and says, Romomudo?
Romomudo. Rotomudo, yep.
He gives a
Romomudo.
little horn sign with this hamster paws.
Rotomudo. Is that our warband's name then?
I don't think we need to have a warband name quite yet. We're still workshopping.
Oh, okay. Well then, when we do find it out, then tell Bloop. That way we can shout it out as a war cry to put the fear of death into our enemies, just like Yark taught me.
Bloop,
Is there anything that you feel our warband should be called, Bloop? Is there anything that you feel like shouting when we go into battle?
Well, let's see. I think well, Lukifer has his fiery spirit, and Deirdre, she has her horns, and you, Roto, well, you miss things a lot, but technically, I guess it wouldn't be scary to shout out, may we miss you many times and then hit you with our fiery horns. That doesn't really sound very aggressive and strike fear in the hearts of man, I think.
I think it's also pretty long for a warband name. Usually they're like 2 or 3 words.
Well, Yark always called themselves the Tusk Tooth Warband, so they would say either for the war band or give them the Tusk Tooth.
Ah, that's a very good one. But none of us have tusk teeth.
No,
Mm-mm.
but
That
we
would be
do,
pretty badass, though, I will say.
but we do have. Well, Deirdre has her horns, her antlers, and Lukifer has his fire. It seems very scary. So I thought maybe
Fire.
something about
What fire?
the way he sort of flares up sometimes, you know, and he lights up, and it hurts to be around him, kind of like fire.
Oh, you're talking about my irradiating personality and how I sometimes glow.
Yes, that exactly. It's
So I'm
bright.
told.
You're
It's-
a
It's bright, and it hurts to be near you. It's kind of like fire.
In fact, that's what the bullies used to say about why my dad never stuck around. Why would you do this to me? Why would you bring up such traumatic memories, Blue?
I'm sorry.
I thought we were friends, Blue.
I'm sorry, brother. Bloop is sorry. He didn't know he had such. I
I
didn't know.
never knew my father.
As Luke starts running up, the piano, as if magically triggers, starts playing a sad tune. You guys can see the keys pressed down with nobody pressing them. It's a very slow, somber tune.
One.
Roto looks really, really wistful for a moment. He knows he shouldn't, but just the mention of it, he is enthralled by the possibility of not having grown up with his dad. Oh, someone should check on him. I'll go check on Lukifer.
Okay, Bloop is sorry. He didn't mean to bring up such a sensitive subject.
We've been through a lot together, but we don't actually know each other extremely well. We've had to become fast friends in a short time and learn to rely on each other without the knowledge that longtime friends would have.
Maybe stick them with the horns?
Let's keep workshopping.
Okay, we'll keep workshopping.
Bloop, you're down there, the piano keeps playing, and then it slowly comes to a stop as Roto leaves.
Two could be as bad as one.
If you'll start singing, it will start picking up on your tune and just kind of go with it.
Oh.
Da 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 da. And just for effect, as you start singing Three Dog Night, you hear Lavender start to howl in the upper room.
Uh-oh. I'm sorry, did I start a howl, Little Missy? You're not gonna howl, are you? Well, you don't. You're not a howler, you're more of a barker. You got more of the German Shepherd blood than the Siberian Husky blood.
We'll see.
That might be good for you. Certainly more calm.
Neat. Well, I hope that Bloop didn't make you all too upset. But yes, but I think of all of you as both my warband and my family.
Lukifer has fully abandoned the scene.
No! Brother!
Roto, are you knocking on the door?
Luke, do you have pants on?
Do you have pants on?
Words. Lukifer opens the door. He's got pants on, but he's got what's like a really tight jacket pulled on that would probably be like some fancy like overshirt or like some fancy jacket for your sister is like looking like a really like tight like sweater vest, or I wouldn't say sweater vest, but like a really tight vest kind of deal. Mm-hmm. He goes, "Oh, hello, Roto. I'm fine. And he swigs out of a large perfume bottle. I'm gonna say, these smell way too pretty to be so freaking weird tasting.
He jacks perfume in front of you, apparently.
Roto, who am I talking to? Luke, I know that, we have different issues with our male ancestors, but I know that we do share having those issues. You know that Bloop didn't mean anything by it. He's a fair innocent, that one. And sometimes he just doesn't know.
Roto is okay. The one thing that got passed from my godlike father to me is my forgetfulness. Just like he forgot me, I've already forgotten what Bloop said to make me so upset in the first place. I just know that my father abandoned me, and I hate him, and if I ever see him, I'm gonna punch the fucker.
Roto is going to reach for the perfume bottle and take it from your hand and sniff it, and then get a really look on his face, but he will take a sip and then shake it and then get it back to you. Here's to that, brother.
You didn't have to do that. I'm fully aware I'm drinking perfume right now. You really didn't have to do that at all.
And
I'm going through something.
I regret it a lot. But it seemed like a good idea at the time.
Listen, I have a fucking rock for an arm now, okay? I'm really going through some stuff, and right now perfume is just really hitting the spot.
No, I don't.
Solidarity.
I'm not concerned unless you show up poisoned. And I don't think I can fix that if you do, but we'll look into it. Anyway, I just wanted to check on you. I'm gonna head back downstairs and make sure that Bloop's okay.
Thank you, friend. Chugs rest the perfume bottle.
Ugh.
You smell fantastic, just saying.
Yes.
Bloop, don't worry. Luke's gonna be okay. He's just having a moment, like we all do.
Bloop is currently like taking the spot on one of like these little side tables over here, just like turning himself into an orb, sitting on the side table.
Yeah, Roto's just gonna pull up on this couch right here. And honestly, just between the deal with the Archdevil and the confusion, you know, with what exactly is going on with Deirdre's soul. And also, like, I know he said he was not concerned about the authorities coming down on them, but now that the Archdevil is not here, he is mildly concerned about the fact that the authorities are coming after them again. And so he's going to spend a little time thinking about that.
As you settle into that thought, you hear a knock on the door.
Here we go again.
Bloop will get it, and Bloop will like.
Thank you, Bloop.
And Bloop will just like
Roto is
roll
going
off.
to move to the other couch and kind of lay down on the couch so that he's very difficult to see.
Oh wait, is this the front door? I
It is the front door, yes.
Yay! So Bloop will literally like roll across the ground in orb form and stop at the front door, like reach his pseudopod arm up and open up the door.
As you do, you see this big hippo man standing, towering over you, and he looks down and he goes, "Yes, the plasmoid. I'm coming in!" And he steps in. Do you try to block him?
He just rolls back and he yells back, "The plasmoid is coming in!"
Yes, the plasmoid is coming in. Out of the way, you slimy bit of lovely ooze. I want the one who owes me a debt of honor.
And Bloop will just roll into here and says, Roto, the plasmoid is here and he wants to know about his debt of honor. Do we have any honor here?
I think the plasmoid is drunk. No more squids.
Roto's going to come out now that it's been debt of honor and not this is the law. You look familiar. Are you looking to fight someone?
Not someone. The one. The one who dared laid fingers across my face. Where is the tall, blonde, feathered boy?
Well, there's no one here by the name of the one, unfortunately. Not that Bloop is aware of.
He steps over to you and he just starts twisting his head around, trying to figure out what you are. Yes, plasmoid, but different. Have you ever been on a FeyJammer stopped for smuggling, sir?
Bloop will think back. Has he ever been on a ship stopped for smuggling?
I don't remember if you were there during that portion, but you were probably under deck when they stopped the ship. Rhoda, you certainly you might recognize Brahe.
No.
He just starts stomping around, looking at stuff.
Bloop does not recall being on a starship stopped for smuggling.
Yes, well, don't worry, son. There is always next time.
All right.
Lukifer's gonna overhear this, and can I jump out the window?
I'll go see if any of my colleagues fit your description.
So,
But Rondo, there's no one here called V1.
so Luke,
It's only you, me, Deirdre, Lukifer, and Lavender.
so Luke specifically, you would land there. The sand portions are just kind of air, so you would land there if you jump out of that window. Make a dexterity saving throw.
Come on, Bloop. Maybe one of our friends uses that as a nickname.
Right.
Oh, was it your sister perhaps, or her chubby friend?
As
So technically, DM,
Do you have a?
I would be landing somewhere like right here, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
right as Rolo's coming out, Deirdre opened the door wearing her new outfit.
Oh.
So first off, for jumping and
Go for it.
landing poorly, go ahead and take bad rolls. 11 points of damage as you land very hard. You don't quite roll your ankle, but you could. You know what I mean?
Oh, shit, that one hurt.
So I'm just gonna slide you down here. You're on the grass.
No need.
Unless you want to go to the
I-
backyard.
You said the astral sea is out this way, right?
Yes, you are. The house is very close to the edge of the asteroid. The edge slowly slopes down until you can fall off the edge of it. When you look out in the distance, you have this wonderful mix of silver and every so often bursts of color as other realms, as other entries pop in. So you see a blast of blue gas and a green light, and it is a constant but steady light show.
I have jumped into the astral sea before. Well, I more so got pushed out into the astral sea, and I floated. So I'm gonna have the same kind of mindset, and I want to essentially climb down over the edge and hide myself over the edge until he goes away. And I know I'm gonna float because I've been out in the astral sea before, and I floated because my moral alignment does lean towards the upper area.
Do me a favor, roll an insight check.
Oh no!
Are we gonna have a what? Is this for an alignment?
Never mind.
Or-
So you, as you
Is
said,
Pixel Lily around?
if you call her name, she'll be there.
Oh, Pixel Lily, I need your help.
She pops. She pops and sits down on your shoulder, and it's not a ton of weight, but the longer that you are there, it's gonna feel like a ton of weight.
I essentially give her the rundown real quick and be like, I need your honest opinion. Can you just look at the plan real quick and give me your honest opinion? And can I have her help, or maybe the help action from her to re-roll that insight?
Yeah, actually, go ahead and re-roll it with advantage as she helps you with your new insight check.
Sweet.
I'm afraid for Lukifer right now.
Okay, that's a 14. It was still terrible. Dice really don't want me to have this, but that's a little bit better.
I'll give you a little bit without a lot of bit.
But
So, astrophysics is dictated by two things. One is the astral floating effect, where a person will rise or fall in accordance with their moral alignment in a vacuum. The second thing to keep in mind is there's only a vacuum if there is a lack of a gravity plane, or if you get outside of a gravity plane. While you're in a gravity plane, the gravity plane is in effect.
so meaning I would go down still.
Well, down's a relative term. You have seen, I'll give you 14, you've seen this effect, specifically. You've seen things that fall below a gravity plane as long as they're still within the gravity plane. Up and down switch. And what falls down falls up after a certain point.
So he's just gonna end up like yo-yoing out there?
Yep.
That depends. That depends on how long you can hold on.
With Pixel Lily's new insight and everything, Lukifer's gonna look over and be like, I might be dumb, but I'm not that dumb. And then he's just gonna run.
Alright, give me 1 sec to chase you. I have to help
And then that's it.
I have to help the not in bed daughter get past the dog. Give me 1 second.
Jailbreak.
Sure thing.
I might be dumb, but I'm not that dumb.
While we have a moment of quiet, Deirdre, and we happen to have conveniently met at the landing at the top of the stairs, I believe there is a law enforcement official here to speak to Lukifer. I'm gonna go check on him.
No, Rodo, they're looking for the one.
I think Lukifer sometimes uses that name. So we're just gonna ask him if he knows anything about it.
Oh no.
I've never heard of him use that title.
No, it's not the title, it's that idiot.
Also, Dee Dee, I noticed that you've changed your skin again. It looks very, very fetching.
Thanks. I figured to try something different.
Change can be good, especially when we're dealing with
Hard devils.
tough decisions and hard subjects.
Yep.
Do you think that Bloop should change his ooze form?
If you want to, Blue.
I mean, Bloop has always been this color spectrum for as long as he's known, but perhaps it's time for a change.
Right now, I think we better take care of the one little problem that a certain Asimar did. Now,
By Azimar, do you mean Lukifer?
he's the only one I'm referring to.
What did he do?
Something very, very dumb.
Lukifer? No, Lukifer is not dumb. It couldn't have been him.
No, I believe the issue here is that in a momentary bad decision, Lukifer may have struck a law enforcement officer.
Like
and now...
His fist?
Yeah, I believe he hit him in the face.
And the law enforcement officer is not dead?
Nope.
Nope.
Why did he not strike his opponent until they had ceased living on this mortal coil?
I don't think it was an
Sometimes
actual... Go ahead, Dee Dee.
Sometimes it's best not to murder your opponent.
But why? How else will they know never to mess with you again?
Well, I think it's all about the intimidation.
I see. Oh, yes, of course. To let one's enemy live while knowing they've been completely overwhelmed in sense of power, they will know never to mess with you again. And they are, of course, stricken with fear at the thought of you.
Close enough.
And then they will tell tale of your might to all others that they know, and they will know of your might and strength.
Again, close enough. Close enough.
Oh, Lukifer, just as wise of a teacher as Master Yark was.
I wouldn't say wise. Right,
And-
where's the big oaf?
Well, let's go check his room.
Well, Roto came up here earlier to check on Lukifer, and Roto says he's in his room, so let us check there.
And I know the DM's not here, but we can play this out anyway, because I'm going to knock on the door, and I will start with my usual new greeting for Lukifer. Luke, are you wearing pants?
God, let's hope he is.
He was when I came up earlier. Also my sister's shirt. But he was definitely wearing pants.
Why was he wearing your sister's shirt?
Honestly, the color was quite good on him.
Fair enough.
So, who knows? And if we get no answer, we'll go in.
Yep.
You guys,
Well.
yeah, definitely don't get an answer because I'm not there.
Alright, and she's just,
Yep, no,
she's covering her eyes. Is it clear?
No,
close?
Deirdre. The entry word is Lukifer, are you wearing pants? Okay. Silence means we can enter according to Roto.
I can't guarantee that he is, but you're safe because he's not here.
What do you mean he's not? Where did he go? How did we lose an
I think we'll
Asmar?
We'll probably need to wait for the DM now.
Yep, we have to wait for the DM now.
Essentially above table, I'm hoping that Lukifer can find himself in like a different house, like 3 houses down, having tea with some elderly couple, kind of like talking about the shenanigans, or like kind of like venting about like whatever's going on. I don't know. I feel like he'd find himself, but I feel like I'd have to roll some kind of like charisma check or some shit like that. I don't know.
Yep. Good luck, buddy. That's gonna be one hell of a roll.
Oh, is that a suit of armor in the corner?
Yeah, I think it is.
Sloppily put back together because Lukifer definitely tried on the helmet and it was too small.
Bloop will like go down in like pseudo liquid form, and he will like seep into the cracks and crevices of the armor and like fill the inside of the armor and then move around in it.
All right, so you pull yourself up off the ledge.
Yeah, I didn't quite like. I was like starting to, but I was like, talking it over with Pix Lily, and that's when shit like she probably said something like, "This would be incredibly stupid," and then Lukifer would have been like, "Huh." Oh, I'm pretty dumb, but I'm not that dumb. And that's when he just runs off to the side. And my hope is, DM, that maybe like a couple houses down, he could like be let into a house that is owned by a nice elderly couple, and they could be having tea, and he could be venting to them about all the troubles that he's been going through. And that's how he gets away from Brahe. That was my hope.
I believe when you say let in, there's so many questions in this.
Okay, I feel like I'd have to make a roll or two because it depends on the roll. And so essentially, he'd be running, and I feel like if it's I guess it'd be a dexterity because he'd be running or whatever. So I guess it's in your hands. Would that be like a athletics, or do you want me to just do a dexterity check?
I'm not worried about your ability to pull up or to run. You have those in spades.
Okay, so essentially with that roll, I got a 5. And so my essential idea is that he would probably get tangled up. I mean, it's an old person house. I imagine they'd probably have like some kind of like badminton set or some kind of pickleboard set or whatnot, and so he'd like run into the net or whatnot. He'd run into the old people activity and get himself all tangled up and hopefully win like a pity card and have them be like, "Oh, you're coming back for some tea,"
Let's see if you can
Talk
find
to
it.
us about what's troubling you.
Let's see if you can. So one. You're in the dwarf district, just so you're aware. So it's old Scottish. It's gonna be an old Scottish sound.
Is probably something different.
Luke, roll it. Just roll a random d20. Let's see if you're lucky or not.
Is tonight my night? It's not my night,
It's
DM.
under 10. It's not your night. You get wrapped up, and you see a burly-looking dwarf step out.
Oh no.
And
Oh no.
old for a dwarf is a very relative term, right? Dwarves have long lifespan. And you hear this voice from behind this beard. Obviously, it's a feminine voice, which I can't reproduce. She goes, "Hello! Would you like some tea, dear?"
I'm glad you found me. I'm having a hell of a day. And I'm not really too familiar with what tea is. But if it's a drink and it's not perfume, I would love some.
Yes, my Billy loves tea. Are you my Billy?
If that's what gets me inside and having some tea and for the next 20 minutes, then yes, I'm Billy Lukifer.
Yes, I don't know about the Lukifer stuff, but come in. I've missed you so. Tell me about your adventures. It's been a while since we've talked to our children. It's good to see you.
Never understand. You never know. He just instantly breaks down and starts hugging. I lost my arm and I didn't even really lose it. It just turned into a rock and I don't even have answers. And essentially that's what the next 20 minutes is just him complaining about all the adventures he's been on and not knowing his dad.
She pats you on the back the whole time. She thinks you're her son.
Oh.
That's one way to do it.
And she's feeding you biscuits and tea. And she tells you that your arm looks wonderful and that any dwarf would be proud to have such an arm. She asks you about at one point about her grandchildren.
Oh, they're good.
Why don't you ever bring them to see me, dear?
Well, it's because...
Are you ashamed of your gram?
Not me, but it's my wife.
Oh, yes, I remember her, the harlot. I told you shouldn't get married, but no, you must go do as you do. She's done a few minus picks in her day, and you were still like, I know best, do listen to Graham.
Well, I have an idea, Graham. In fact, I think my wife is cheating on me right now with a Gith. And that Gith is currently a couple houses down. And he's trying to kill me right now. And he says that he will hunt down any part of my family and also do the same to them. So I think you should get all of our extended family and go take care of the Gith.
Yes, let's go together, dear. We'll go, and I'll give him a tongue lashing.
No. And we don't say that, okay? Let's just stay here and drink our tea. Yes, I like that.
Can you, let's go through childhood pictures together? She takes out a photo album, and she sets it down on a table, and she slowly starts going over every bit of this person's life. This is where the first steps, yes, I remember. And that's your first mining pick. And look, this was your first prom. Oh. You should have stuck with that one instead of the whore that you've been cheated on. You make poor decisions and get good answers.
All right.
Wow.
Now,
Oh.
I don't really know this wife, but
Grandma.
yeah,
Or
I
mom.
think that you shouldn't be talking about people like that, and I have smacked people for less.
Oh, you wouldn't smack me. You tried once. You tried.
Oh.
You were sore for a week. When your father came home. Oh, I remember. I remember.
Wow.
Is that all there is to the story?
Oh, yes, you remember. Yes, you couldn't walk for a week. Your butt swelled 3 sizes. Smack, smack, smack. And you never did it again. That spoon's
Him
around
having
here
amnesia, I'm
somewhere.
very thankful.
She
I'm gonna go
starts
to the
rummaging
bathroom.
around.
Runs to the bathroom and hides in the bathroom.
You're hiding in a stranger's house. This poor lady, this poor lady who's suffering severe dwarven dementia. You've just kind of absconded into her house. And you're now.
And I'm still wearing the same thing I was in the room too. I'm wearing the too small like vest. That's really
And it's like a crop top on Lukifer.
yeah.
Crop top.
While you're doing that, Brahe is
Hey.
unobstructedly just stomping around. He knocks on Deidre's door.
And Deidre looks at Rolo and signals to him to wait there. Can I help you?
Yes, where's the feathery boy?
The feathery boy.
Yes, he owes me a fight in the pits.
Oh, the pit.
I will knock his block away.
This is not the law enforcement guy. This is the big fight guy.
Where is
The feathery
he?
boy.
He opens the
Hold on,
bathroom door
sir,
and looks
sir,
around.
And
Yes,
she continues
madam.
to try this. The feathery boy, he's wandering the marketplace. I asked him to pick up a few things for me.
The marketplace, yes. I'll wait here until he returns.
Oh no, he'll be gone quite a while. He's
Which one of these rooms are his?
this one.
Oh, well.
Roll a deception check.
Oh, thank God. It's 19.
Woo! Go DD!
Give me... da-da-da-da-da. He opens the door, looks around, and says, Yes, I'll sit here. I'll stand right here waiting guard, and when he comes, I will drag him to the pits, and we will have our match of honor.
Well, again, it might take you a while. Might take him a while. So why don't you go to Luigi's for a pint?
Luigi? The one that has the thing against the healthcare people? Yes, I like him.
Yes. I'm sure. She holds his hand. I'm sure he'll be really welcome in everything.
Yes, but if I go to Luigi's, I have to deal with that drunkard, Potamus.
Yep.
No one likes dealing with Potamus.
We could go together.
Ah, yes. Would you like to go together with me and have a pint? Better yet, sweetie, we could go to the Rock Rat and wait. Come with me. Gather your party. We will have a good time.
Okay.
Yoda will look out the door and kind of look at Deidre and be like head tilt, huh?
Maybe the others can catch up and they can find Lukifer at the market and drag his ass to the Coliseum.
The Rock Rat, my dear. The Rock Rat.
Rock rat, yes.
Yes.
Right, guys? Right, Rodo? As she gives him a
Yeah.
look.
Come with me, dwarf
We will
man.
look for the other party member, and we will join you at the Rock Rat and discuss if we know a feathery one.
Oh, yes, we
Yes.
all know the feather. I remember you. You're the one that I gave the summons to. Or was it? I think it was Packins that gave you the summons. Either way, this is not official business. This is a matter of the highest honor, and we shall meet at the Rock Rat. But in the meanwhile, sir, would you like to spar?
What, like physically?
He puts up his hands in an
Uh-oh.
early 19th century boxer pose, fist far extended out. Yes, we will go to the pits and we will practice on each other. And I will come out the better man. Follow.
I have no inclination to engage in fisticuffs with you. I have no intention to engage in fisticuffs with anyone. I like my beard neat and tidy, and getting punched in the face wrecks that, so I will pass.
How about a drink? Well, we'll have a drink and we'll plot the destruction of the feathery one. Yes, I will hit him in the face.
Rodo, how does this skin look? Also, did you say something about getting punched in the face?
Bloop, do you want to go punch someone in the face and be punched in the face while I find Lukifer?
I would love nothing more than to fight and punch someone in the face. And
You know, I thought that would be sentiment. I stick my head back out the door and he's like, all right, fella, I found you a sparring partner. You guys go to the Rock Rat, and I will be along shortly.
Yes, the Rock Rat, yes. Follow me, the Rock Rat will be. Yes,
And,
the Plasmoid. You know he doesn't know where he is, yes?
We're aware.
I think the Plasmoid is quite drunk.
I have
looking
never
it up.
gotten drunk a day in my ooze form life.
And Bloop comes out the door because I assumed before DM that this little thing here was like a suit of armor.
Yeah, it's like a dwarf-sized suit of armor.
Okay, Bloop will before Bloop like
Hold on.
sort of seeped into that and like filled out the inside, so he's gonna come out wearing that around him, come out the door with that on, and yes.
Point of order.
This
This is my opera singer sister's house.
And
And you get the Brunhilde armor. Please check the Discord.
Yes.
You said that's in the Discord?
I put this in the Discord. If it can find its way into your stream, DM, I think it's worth showing the audience.
That I don't know if it's, let me it might. Let me see if I can transfer it.
Party!
And I can. Ta-da!
Yeah.
I don't think I can. DKC.
There you go.
There you go.
woohoo! That is me.
That is you. All right.
Yeah.
Back to
Bloop
the
comes
map.
out with the Brunhilde armor.
The braids are a part of the helmet. I would like to make that clear.
So
That
just
just
a
makes it even better.
plasmoid.
Oh, my nose itches.
So just a plasmoid
Ah, my
walking out.
glasses.
With the Brunhilde armor and everything, with braids attached, just walks out. I will happily fight with anyone and prove my mettle in combat.
Oh dear.
He will
Yep.
motion you on if you will come. He will go, come, fancy plasmoid. Come!
Oh,
And
I-
is the gift pushing Deidre along?
If it's not so much as pushing as just putting an arm over top of, and if you resist in the slightest way, you can slide out. If not, there's that gift weight that just kind of brings you.
yeah, just like a big, heavy, like tree trunk of an arm, I'm imagining.
Deidre doesn't fight as she doesn't want to make him mad.
All right, so you all make your way out of this house. Rhoda, what do you do as this is going on?
Can I tell that the window's open?
I don't think that he would have necessarily shut it on his way out.
Nope. I would not have.
I'm going to approach the window and I'm going to lean outside and look around and see if I can see my wandering Azamar friend. He's obviously in somebody else's bathroom right now, so that won't be a possibility.
Speaking of which, Luke, you hear a knock at the door. Hello, dear. Do you have the trots again? I've got something for that. Come out. You hear the jingle of a teaspoon on a teacup. Medicine.
Slowly open the door.
Is
it gonna make me sleepy?
She puts it in your face, waiting for you to take it. Just very, very grandmotherly hands through the door. Take.
I'm gonna sniff it.
It smells like peppermint.
Oh. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Drink
And
it,
I'm gonna
sweetie.
drink all of it in one big old chug. Just
Do me a favor and make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh no.
Okay. Constitution saving throw. I'm pretty good at. Hold on, and it's not tonight though. I'll tell you that.
It's less than 15. So what's gonna happen?
No. Oh no, he got drugged, didn't he?
So
He got drugged. Yep.
As the brain declines in your hundreds of years of life, sometimes you think you remember medicine and you misremember. Sometimes you think that you're helping somebody by giving them medicine to fix the trots, when you're actually giving them something far more laxative based. So, you feel your stomach start to rumble, and you suddenly realize you need that restroom more than you thought.
Oh no! Hold on. Yeah, hold on. You're gonna want to leave for this.
She comes in and starts patting you. I've seen it all before, dear. I changed your diapers.
Can I physically push her out?
Relax.
Laxatives. Got the Dumb and Dumber Lloyd treatment.
Make a strength athletics check.
Nat 20.
You slam her against the wall.
I kind of like pick her up and like throw her ass out.
You never land on the pillow.
You
toss her out.
You pick her up and she is gone out the door. You can see her and her beard bounce, and she goes,
I gotta freaking go! And close the doors, and she hears the most inhuman noises coming out, and we're gonna fade from black.
As we fade to black, she yells, "Wait till your father gets home." All right.
While I'm in here, real quick, is there a window?
Let's leave it. Let's leave it up to the fate of the dice.
Please say no.
Roll a d20.
Please say no.
1 through 10, no. 1 through 10, no. 11 through 15, a small, squeezable through window. 16 through 20, an easily fit through window.
Well, he's got the what is the trots. He's not going anywhere.
1 through 10 was no, right?
Yep.
No and
Yeah, I do believe. So as this is happening, he's also like viciously gagging as well. Like, also like banging like, let me out, and that's where we fade to black.
we fade to black on that scene.
I don't care how old you are, poop jokes are still funny.
Loop and Deidre are walking out, and Rodo, you're exploring. How long does Rodo explore before he's satisfied?
I remember we had a larger city map that we were looking at, and that this particular house is kind of part of a little block of things. Oh, good. There it is. Well, kind of.
No, it's not
and
the
we're
top-down view.
But we're
Offside.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Switching maps. Yeah, we're up in the Temple District, right?
You're like
Yeah,
right
we are.
up here. You're across from the Temple District.
We are in the Dwarven.
Yeah, you guys are in the Dwarven District, across from the Temple District. I mean, the house is prime real estate.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm very thrilled that my sister's letting us stay there. But I would say that I would probably walk this little circle. Like, you notice how there's this kind of little almost subdivision-like area in here. Can you see what I'm highlighting?
Yeah.
So there's this, in my mind's eye, this looks like a little circular, almost subdivision, right? Like there's this one entrance and this one entrance to this little area. And I would probably do a little wander around there just to see if I see any sign of Lukifer.
So you would see this. And I think like tetherball kind of thing, except dwarves have like rock ball with a rock that you hit around a pole.
Absolutely.
Yes.
You see you see one of those things with the rope all twisted up and kind of bent out of place. Take that for what you will.
I feel like if you were to make a certain perception roll or insight or something, like a 15 or higher, you'd be able to hear faint knocking and like cries of help as Lukifer's trapped in this bathroom because of a laxative-induced tea drink that he was giving. So if you're like really looking and you wanted to, I feel like that is like an area in which you might hear
Just
Luke suffering in the bathroom.
Just follow
agree,
the
DM?
winds and smell.
I'm
Can
good.
I
I'm
try
good with
to
that.
evening?
I'm good. I'm without a roll. I'll let you find the house.
I was so sorry to take over there, DM.
No,
I just figured if you were trying to look for Lukifer, I wanted you guys that's how I feel like you would probably find them if you wanted to find them.
I'm good
It's
with
the
that.
smell and the crying. The manly
so,
crying.
if I can hear Lukifer's voice coming from a house, I'm definitely going to that house. I'm coming from the front door and not the back, so I'll probably just walk up and knock.
So as you knock, this door opens. There is a bearded female dwarf, very old in years. You can see the wrinkles, and for a dwarf, you can tell she is quite aged. She looks at you and she goes, "Your Billy hit me."
Oh, okay.
Auntie, I don't think I'm who you think I am.
She leans in closer. She goes left, right, up, down. Oh, we're not playing this game again. You won't be running around towns out on the night and saying it wasn't you. I don't let that fly in my house. Hands on her hips. Now, what are you going to do about your son?
I can still clearly hear Lukifer's voice, right?
Luke, how loud are you? You hear his voice. You
Now
hear
you're
his
like-
voice. You hear more, certainly, too.
You definitely the banging has certainly gotten a lot louder. You do hear yelling, but there might be an occasional noise where you could be confused as to what it is. It might sound like a large echoing kind of noise into like a but
Lukifer.
you can definitely
It's okay.
hear banging of the hands on the walls. Is
Maybe
Lukifer,
the
it's
sound of a
okay.
balloon
You're
deflating.
Rhoda's going to put on a very serious face and look at the elderly dwarf woman. Yes, ma'am.
She motions
I
you
will
inside.
certainly make sure that he understands the error of his ways.
She
But it
motions.
sounds like he's rather sick at the moment, so let me take care of him. And then I reach out and I wink at her and say, and then I'll take care of him.
She grabs your bicep in a very elderly person fashion. She does these little shuffle steps to get moving, and she brings you along, and she takes her hand on the bathroom door, swings it open, and says, "You take care of this," and to the rock rat. All right, so the party.
You're not wearing pants, are you? God damn it!
Right.
Please go back to the Red. I need a moment.
Go
Hold
ahead,
on.
take care
Let
of
me
Luke.
grab one more thing.
Take care of Luke
Gee.
while we pause here.
GM,
There.
thank you so much for this gift.
Rodo, how do you? Just for the fun of it, let's go back to the top side map. Oh no, something was D&D Beyond is correct. Something went wrong.
Something went very, very wrong.
Something definitely went really wrong.
All right, the old woman just points you at Luke, mid deposed.
after maybe like another minute or two after you might have gotten in and started waiting, the door would like open and like a scent that probably you would only feel would come from like a battlefield, like fresh after it was all done and said, you know, where like there was a fresh battle fought in there, you know. But Lukifer comes out feeling on top of the world, you know. All the perfume that he's ingested over the past like 24 to 48 hours, the lack of food with all the greasy food in the morning, and then the laxatives. I think it was the emotional detox that he really needed. And he's gonna bust out the door and be like, "Oh, Lukifer, you'd never believe what happened in there. Trust me, you don't want to know. It was fucking horrific. I want to forget it. So let's go to the bar. Drinks are on whoever I meet there."
It's funny you should say that, Lukifer. Do you want to go fight a man in the pits?
Is it the giant hippo that I was running from?
Yes.
So I did. This astral sea area has different names for a lot of different creatures. I'm not used to seeing talking.
But DM, just to refresh me, because I worried that I confused this earlier. This is the law enforcement guy that Luke hit in the face, and now they want to square things up in the pits, and not an actual law enforcement visit. It is one of the gifts, right?
So specifically what happened in that incident, when the party was stopped for attempting to smuggle and went about hiding the contraband, the party was boarded by 3 gifts. One was Perkins, the other Merceo, and the last one Brahe. In order to keep Brahe from going down below deck, Luke hit him and then immediately apologized.
That is false.
I have the
He
video.
insulted Pixelily.
Maybe
And
so.
that's when I smacked him.
Maybe so, but it was in his progress of trying to get below deck. And he, at that point, he said upon your arrival at the Rock of Brawl, he would meet you in the pits. and he has
How
come to
did the
collect.
we got here?
Well, roll an insight or a history, since it's your own history.
I'm not very good at history. And the dice have not been on my side today.
the
They've
digital
been
dice
really
jail.
bad. I can't. It's digital dice. How do I put those in?
Easy, you can switch
True,
them
okay.
out.
You strike a valid point,
I've
my
said
friend.
this before. D&D Beyond should have a dice jail option where it like
should.
has an icon
I've been
where your
doing my
current
own.
dice go in a jail, like a bird cage, and you have a secondary set of dice lined up.
That's what I've been doing. I've been switching them out.
We can barely get a functioning map set off of D&D Beyond, so let's not shoot for the moon.
There we go. I think it works. We'll have to roll at the next one, but yeah.
8. You can't remember.
Well, do I want to fight them? Not really, because I don't like fighting unless it's guaranteed death. And this is just a fight to prove that someone is better. And listen, I didn't mean to smack them, but the only one that can say anything about Pixelily is me or someone else in the party. He didn't even know her and he insulted her. So of course I would smack him. I would smack him again if he insulted any one of us. But would I fight him in the pits? No, because I'm not gonna feed some person's ego just so they can prove that they're stronger or a better fighter, or because they need to better me because I got the upper hand by smacking them when they had their guard down and they're law enforcement and they're never supposed to have their guard down. They're just sour because they're terrible at their own job, so they're gonna take it out on me not today and not ever.
All right. Does it change your opinion if he has taken two of our friends to a pub? And I'm not saying he's taken them hostage, but I'm not saying he has not.
All Lukifer heard is he has taken our friends, and he
no.
draws his sword. He draws the sunblade, doesn't unsheath it, just kisses the hilt and goes, "Oh baby, we're about to get some use out of you." And then he looks at his arm. He goes, "Don't do anything funky." And then he starts to like trudge out the building to go find his friends.
As you step out of the building, before you step out, the old dwarven woman catches you by the elbow and says, "Thank you for visiting. It was so fun. We must make this a regular tea visit. What's your name again?"
"Billy, I'm your son, and I think you should really go talk to him because you have some problems you need to figure out with him. His wife isn't the problem, you are." And I'm gonna walk away.
She gasps and puts her hand over her chest. Rodo, do you do anything at that exit?
I tip an imaginary hat and say, "Sorry, Auntie," and then just follow Lukifer as quickly as my legs will let me move.
She waves to you, and our detour through the random old person's house has come to a conclusion. Let's see, let me way down at the bottom here because the map reset. All right, so let's set this up because everybody wouldn't get here at the same time. Bloop and Deidre. Rahe, if nobody objects, brings everybody inside. Inside this tavern, it's a little bit more broken than the Happy Beholder. Things are more rustic. There's some nautical gear hanging on the wall. There is a woman standing behind the counter who looks at Brahe and just points to the hall that leads down a set of stairs. And Brahe, before he goes down that path, says, "Now, my friends, who would like a drink?"
I guess a drink wouldn't hurt.
Yes, come with me. You, Plasmoid Armor Man, what would you like to drink?
Yes, Bloop would like his new favorite beverage, a fizzy squid.
I don't think they have that here.
Maya looks at you and goes, "The fuck is a fizzy squid?"
It's a drink over at the Happy Beholder.
Happy Beholder? That's a shithole. Here, take this. She sets down a dirty mug of ale on the counter.
Okay. So Bloop will look at it, sort of lift up the mug in front of their face, and sort of take in the color of it. It doesn't look as exciting as the fizzy squid drinks that he's used to. But then he'll just, like he does with the fizzy squids, he will literally just dip back and just take it all down in one draw, one big gulp.
In my mind, when you take it down, the transparency or the semi-transparency of the plasmoid body, you can see it swirl down as the liquid mixes.
Yes.
But you're wearing this suit of armor, so maybe not as visible. Deidre, do you have anything?
What would you recommend?
He looks and he says, 2 gift-size pints. Yeah, she comes over, she puts down what is the equivalent of 6 pints in a giant mug in front of you, and it is a gigantic mug. It is gift size.
It's essentially just like a barrel, right?
A little mini barrel, yeah.
My favorite.
He effortlessly takes his, lifts it up, and says, "To the pits!"
To the pits as she tries to lift up. Can I?
Make a strength.
Can I have
Just
it?
make a strength check.
15.
Yeah, you can get it up with 2 hands. Just grab it and struggle it up.
To the pit, I guess.
To the pits.
All right. As you guys sit and drink for a second, Roto and Luke, you guys can burst in on the scene whenever ready.
I was personally probably waiting till they were already in the pits.
All right, we could do that. So
Roto is going to wait with Lukifer because he is spending some of the walk saying, "Now look, I need to remind you, I did not say kidnapped. I just said maybe having been taken as assurance of our attendance."
They were Schrodinger's kidnapped. Maybe
Yeah.
they were, maybe they weren't.
How likely do you think this Gith is to let me volunteer Bloop or you, or maybe even Deidre as a champion to fight for me? Because listen, I'm not really in the mood. I have an unpredictable arm. I'm not ready for combat right now. I don't want to fight someone. I'm not ready for that. I'm mentally stumped, and you think I can fight this person that insulted my pixie, and then you just expect me to let it slide? No, I don't have time for a bloody ego booster.
I have already turned down the opportunity to fight this gentleman. Bloop seemed keen, though. You might convince him.
I think the problem is convincing the Gith, because I think as long as we can boost their ego and make them feel good about themselves, they'll get over the fact that they're terrible at their job and didn't even see a nice swing smack come at their face. I feel like it's a little bit of a problem with them that they need to figure out, and I feel like we just need to figure out some way to boost their ego. Maybe they can come on an adventure with us and they can show us how awesome they are or something. I don't fucking know. Whatever makes them happy and gets them to fall asleep at night.
all right.
Those are all great questions. As long as I don't have to fight anyone else is welcome to fight the man.
The only time I want to fight someone is if either I'm at risk of dying or they're at risk of dying.
Bloop and
Rotor's
Deidre.
gonna pause for a second and just think to himself, I mean, no, I'm not even gonna say that. I don't want to give you the idea. Never mind. Roto says absolutely nothing.
I've had a lot of ideas, and I might have another one here soon. Don't push it though. Every time I try to force an idea, I just end up not having an idea. Anyways, let's go save our friends. Have they vacated to the pits yet, DM?
Actually, they're about to go if Bloop and Deidre follow. Brahe, after chugging his large gift pint, motions to the others. He opens the cage in front of him, and the group slowly descends down a
Alright.
set of
Deidre
stairs.
will attempt to try to finish her drink.
Does
is there any-
Deidre drink a lot of alcohol?
Not much.
Please make a Constitution saving throw.
Yep. Oh fuck.
Actually, seeing that she's trying to like drink this down, would it be possible for Bloop to attempt to like help? Like he takes a drink as well to help her finish it off, or is that weird? Would Deidre allow that?
Actually, GM, mind if I have a re-roll it with my heroic inspiration?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Let's see. I'll take God's 15. I'm not sure if it saves me or not.
Yeah, you're not that bad off with the 15. You
whoa.
can feel the effects, but they're not overpowering at all. Bloop,
That's
Bloop and
I
Deidre.
want my friends.
that's a strong drink, but oh,
Bloop and Deidre, you see that there is an underground area with bleachers. There is a center pit that is walled off with 2 gates going in. There are GIF, Plasmoid, Astrowelves, Rat People, Drow, all in the bleachers cheering things on as you see a Plasmoid and a 3 Keen in the middle. They are currently standing apart, but they are in the process of having some kind of combat. And Brahe puts his hand on the cage and goes, "I'm next!" And then he steps aside and he waits patiently. And Luke, you pop in. What do you say?
I want my friends.
Maya goes, "The hell you talking about? We
What,
got
is this a
drinks
bar?
here, gambling on the side,
Ooh.
pit fighters in the back."
I'll go ahead and take your largest glass of mead. And while you're at it, who's currently in the pits right now? Any good bets I can place?
Bookies in the left-hand side in the dice room.
I don't like dice. I like betting on fights. Or is there place I can bet on the fights? And have you seen a bluish tiefling person and a liquidy other thing person? The names might have slipped by. I don't know if they introduced themselves. Have you seen them? They're possibly in danger, and the person who kidnapped them is possibly at threat of losing their life.
Roll
my hands.
a persuasion check.
DD, look, it's another storm.
That'd be a 14.
see, I told you it worked.
She crosses her
Thank you.
she
You are
crosses her arms and said, "I ain't seen him." Now you want to drink or you want to gamble?
What?
She looks at
Is
you.
it a gamble to assume I'm going to get a drink?
She says, "I don't think you could handle a drink, sweetheart."
Oh,
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 is that a bet I hear? Because I was looking for people. I wasn't looking for a challenge. I'll take whatever you can throw my way.
She looks at you and says, I ain't seen no challenge here. Shit-faced little guy, maybe. No challenge.
Shit-faced little guy.
She
Was he a liquidy blue guy?
She puts a mug of ale. You outdrink me, we'll talk.
Oh.
I outdrink you. Well, we'll talk some more.
Hey, Rodo, your sister and I all happening. Go ahead and pour those drinks.
She
Never said it. It was just an idea. Please drink this lady under the table.
Okay, so first things first, Luke. What's your Constitution modifier?
My Constitution modifier is +3.
All right, so you can quickly down the first 3 drinks without a problem. She will also down the first.
Yeah, Constitution.
She will also down the first 3 drinks without a problem. She sets up a 4th, and she goes, "Now's the fun time, sweetie. How many can you drink before you fall down?" How many?
I've taken many.
How many would you like to try to chug?
Line up another 3.
She puts up another 3 for you and for her, and she says, "Bottoms up."
Let's go.
All right, you take 3. Do me a favor, make a Constitution saving throw.
All right.
Come on,
She's
come on,
gonna-
come on, come on.
She's gonna do this. Oh no!
Uh-oh.
You start to feel slightly lightheaded and somewhat wobbly, and she also feels somewhat wobbly. You guys are currently equally matched. But
Alright, so we're on the 4th one, on the 5th one?
no, you guys are downing the 3. You've currently downed the
Okay,
3,
bet.
so you're 6 deep very quickly, and she is 6 deep very quickly. And so you know the rules of this game. The more you drink, the more she drinks. The more you drink, the higher the con save DC. 3 con save fails is the first to fail and fall off the bar.
And black out.
So she
I'm gonna give you to pour another one. Maybe another 3.
she will very wobbly, because she didn't make hers either. She will very wobbly set up 3 for you and 3 for her. And how quickly do you drink them?
I will try to drink them just as fastly as I drink the first 6.
All right.
Oh no!
So
Lukifer.
I will just tell you. I will tell you what the con save is, so you're aware.
Okay.
Having done your first 3 to get rid of your con modifier, the 3 beyond that made it 13. The 3 beyond this make it 16. Go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw. 3 fails. 3 fails. Oof.
So it has to be a 16 or higher?
16 or higher, and she just made hers, so she smiles.
I just need a 10. I just need a 10.
It's a 50-50
10.
shot with your modifier. You guys each succeed. She beats the bar 3 times and looks at you, and she goes, 2 more. We see who goes first. She takes.
Hold on. And then he lets out one of those like cartoon like belches where his mouth kind of moves a little bit, and it's like at least 4 to 5 seconds, and like he like visibly gets like pushed back a little bit. He goes, "Oh, okay, I'm ready. Let's do it
Me
again."
and Loop heard this.
I whenever Luke does something, my assumption is that he is never quiet. Unless otherwise stated, I think Luke is loud.
Yeah, I will very much make it clear.
And
I'll be right
sounds
back,
like-
Loop.
as
It
you
sounded like the roar of a mighty beast.
you hear, yes, the beast Yes, I will slay the beast in a minute. We're next in the cage. Maya says to you, she says, ugh, peppermint, awful smell, awful smell. She sets two more drinks on the bar. You can bow out at any time, or you can take them and make the con save, or you can take one and see if she's satisfied with you just taking the one and make a lower con save. We're currently at 16. Each beer will increase the DC by 1.
Lukifer doesn't quit.
You take both?
Takes both.
All right.
Oh, God, that's 18.
2 con saves. One from her, one from you. I'm using the big die that my daughter had earlier, so it's a lucky die. But not this time. You can see her visibly start to wobble. And
Come on, Luke.
I need 12 or more.
Come on.
You succeed.
Yeah.
You're wobbly, but not as wobbly as her. You know that she can go any moment. And she looks at you, and her speech beginning to slur. She goes, how many went now, you bum? She thinks she's winning. She doesn't realize.
I've gotten past the rough part. I'll go ahead and take another 3.
I'm gonna see what's going on in the bot.
All right,
I'll be right back.
she puts up 3 more. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. And she downs hers like a pro who's done this too many nights in a row.
Oh no!
So we were at 18. So now we're at 21.
Now it's 21.
So it's possible for her to still save. It's not likely, but it's possible.
15 or higher.
Nope, she fails. Let's see how you do.
Come on, Luke.
No, I missed it by 1.
No.
So you're feeling it
But I've
too.
only failed it twice.
You're feeling it too. This is her 3rd fail. So she sloppily falls forward on the bar, looks up at you with those drunk, swirling eyes, and she says, I could use some peppermint kisses. Come down here. I beat you fair and square.
I'm sorry. I think both you and I are slightly too intoxicated for that. I'm afraid I might throw up on you, and neither of us would want that. Here, have this. And
So-
can I jot down? Do I want to jot down the address or the directions to get to Rhoda's house from the bar?
So two things
That
happen.
one. I'm in the small room.
She pulls out a piece of paper from underneath the bar and slaps it down with a quill. And as you says, no one wants you to throw up on her face, you see whiskers suddenly expand out from under her nose, and her nose very quickly become the nose of a rat. And she gives you like this little rat gnaw, and then reverts back to a human face. And she goes, try me.
I'm gonna say that was not cute at all, and I definitely would not mind seeing you again.
Do you write down the actual address, or do you write down a fake address?
The actual address, the fact that someone is unappealing and other people would be unappealed makes Lukifer. Think of Drax when I think it's Drax or whatever, when he's talking to the chick or whatever with the antenna, and he's like, the most beautiful
Mantis?
people are often like that. Yeah, Mantis, thank you. He's very much like Drax when it comes down to like attraction. He doesn't like beautiful attraction, like, so like the fact that she just turned into a rat, he's like, there's more that's not attractive to this person. I like it. I want to talk to you more. Here's the address.
So my question for Luke, does Luke actually know the address, or does he think he knows the address? You as a player don't have to remember it, but does Luke actually know the correct address?
Lukifer.
More importantly, does drunk Lukifer know the actual real address?
The fact that you
That's-
asked that makes me want to roll this with disadvantage. I'm gonna roll survival check with disadvantage to be able to track my way back.
Are you proficient in survival?
Apparently not.
No.
He's not good at
And
it with
that's
that
a
roll.
5. So I give very wrong directions. And in fact, I give directions to the elderly dwarf's house, the elderly dwarf lady's house that I went to earlier. I give directions to there.
Yes.
She happily takes it and puts it underneath the bar. She gives you the little finger crossbows.
Now, where did the liquidy blue person go in the blue tiefling?
Hey, I think I figured out finger crossbows.
Finger crossbows?
Finger crossbows. Remember we had this big debate a long time ago what finger crossbows would
Oh,
look like?
yeah.
I think I figured it out.
Oh,
Oh.
okay. Yeah, finger crossbow. Yeah.
I think I figured it out.
Forgot until now. It's like you unlocked a memory.
This game is just all about unlocking memories.
Yes.
All right. And she'll, now that you have made her acquaintance, she'll tell you that the pits are down below and to go have fun.
Hey, Hermione, for the fun game, and for the free drinks, I assume. Thank you. Bye.
The free
She
drinks
looks.
in the future good times. Because they will not be, and then she will be very scorned by you giving the wrong address on accident, but she will have assumed on purpose.
Yes, there's nothing could go wrong from crossing what is apparently
Nothing.
a were-rat NPC.
Nothing could go wrong.
Nothing
with
could
this.
go wrong.
I see this as an absolute win.
I do. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
So, Luke, you can push the gate open. There's a set of stairs that go down. And should you enter the arena, you will see sets of bleachers that are filled with Brahe's hand shaking the cage. Loop and Deidre, where would you go as this is going on?
Bloop is like right here, front and center, just like cheering on this other, as he would put it, like his ooze morph kin. He's like cheering them on.
And what it looks like, you see flails of liquid coming off like kicks, twirling and solidifying. You see pseudopod punches. The 3 Keen with the praying mantis limbs is trying to block. It's like the mixed martial arts of Brawl. But if you notice Brahe, he's getting specific gear. You see him pulling out what looks like boxing gloves. And
Deidre is just watching on the side as she about to go and try and find a seat.
where would you sit? There is a variety of people and animals.
Where at Gif Drow,
Where at
More
gifts, drow, astral elves. There's a couple of
Astral
plasmoids.
Elves.
There's
Oh, what is that? Is that a Thrycreen? Oh, I didn't mean to move him. Sorry. I don't. This one over here. What is this? Is this a Thrycreen?
that is an astral elf.
Oh,
That is an
this
astral
is
elf
the door.
soldier.
Okay. And then more plasmoids.
Yes, they're cheering on
guess
they're cheering on their brethren.
Yay!
Come on, let's try sitting in the front. Maybe look for what we can find us here.
As you sit down, the drow look at you. Do you speak? You don't speak Undercommon. Do you speak Elvish?
Let me check. I don't.
All right, they are conversing to each other, and it is all gobbledygook nonsense to you.
Bloop understands Undercommon. Are they speaking Undercommon?
They keep switching back and forth. They are talking about how good the Three Keen would taste if they roasted him and ate him.
Oh. He will respond in kind as he goes over to sort of sit next to Deirdre. He'll repeat back in kind. Perhaps if the Thri-Kreen loses, you might get that chance.
You see them look over and smile. They smile, a drow smile. The GIF are actively stomping and cheering. They are stomping so hard that you can feel the bleachers vibrate with each pound. They are super excited.
Ooh. And Bloop will lean over towards Deirdre. Oh, is that the language that I speak? I wasn't sure what it was called, but Yark taught it to me when he was still alive.
That's really interesting. I didn't know that.
Undercommon. Maybe that's what the under the mountain people speak.
Maybe.
And can I roll a perception check if I spot Luke?
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, I don't know if Luke's being real sly, but
he's drunk as hell right now, so he would probably stumble in and focus on the fight, be like, "Oh, whoa," and walk right next to Bromhead and just be like, "Oi, who's winning? Boss, I have a friend that looks just like that," and doesn't even look at Bromhead what's talking to him. So is the little gooey one winning, or is the other insect one winning?
as you walk up to Brahe, he smiles this big hippo smile, and he puts his hand on your shoulders and says, "Ah, the feathered one. Good, good. We will settle our debt of honor, and then we will be friends for eternity." And he throws down the boxing gloves at your feet, and as Roto settles into the bleachers, it seems like a good place to end it and pick up on the fight next week.
It'll be fine.
I was looking forward to a
You
fight.
don't even want more.
Fight next time.
I want to fight. Bloop wishes to fight now.
You guys are
I
gonna
love
make.
how that capped off.
No, it's fine.
You guys are going to make the rock rat your second home, aren't you?
Probably.
As of right now, yeah, probably.
It's a very
The
different
fact that
vibe
Lukifer
from the
gets to
Happy
fight
Meal
and
Order.
make friends, yes, he's there.
Fight chip.
I didn't know making friends was part of this deal.
Well,
Yes.
yeah, we make friends by fighting them. That's the.
Usually I kill people when I fight them, so I don't like befriending them, or I don't like not killing them.
Us.
As you get to know the GIF, you'll see that the GIF really just live for fighting and battle and test fighting and practice fighting, and just really, it's their MO.
Yep. That's the shonen anime way. Is you fight people and they become your friends.
Yep.
And then you go on to adventure together, and the more you fight, the stronger you get.
Yep.
Just
Hey.
for
Right, friends, this has been lovely.
Oh yeah.
It's getting late here, and I'm going to head to bed.
everybody.
Yes.
Have a good night, guys, and a great week.
You too, guys.
See you next week.
See y'all next week.
Before I do leave, I just had one comment for you, which is I'm definitely watching the stream so that we can have numbers.
Yeah. Same.
But we see your view in the stream when we do that,
Mm-hmm.
and so we see through the fog of war.
I know.
When I realized that, I stopped watching. But just
I mean, I have it on in the background. I just I
Same.
don't.
So
Like,
same.
I just go over to so I can see DM's facial reactions to all of our bullshit.
it's
I watch the chat as well.
It's almost always smiles. Almost always
Always
smiles.
smiles and
like
laughs.
especially with the perfume peppermint trots as they were put.
Yes.
Yes. Just run into random houses, get random results.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's what I was
that's
hoping for.
And then you
That's
Yeah.
what I like.
and then you get either intentionally or accidentally dosed with a
And-
bunch of laxative.
In that lady's defense, she was trying to help.
She was. Oh
He was.
God.
He was.
Um,
That is absolutely true.
thank you so much, the DM.
Thank
It
you
was
so
a really
much,
fun
DM.
session.
Thank you, DM. We love you.
I
Even though
just
we-
FYI, I never know what you guys are gonna do. I have honestly,
That's the fun of it.
I have given
Yeah,
up
that's
trying to
exactly-
overplan. I know general ideas of what's going to happen. Apparently, laxatives are one of those possibilities.
Yeah. By
That's a common
elderly,
bit for
by-
us.
yep, by elderly dwarf grandmas who mistake the party member as their son, their dwarven son.
gigantic ASMR as their son.
Hey, diseases of the brain, they're awful. You can't necessarily make those
Yeah.
distinctions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
They are. But I hope everyone has a wonderful evening. Thank you guys for a great
Yay.
session. And I'll talk
Fantastic
to you guys next
session,
week.
everybody.
Bye,
Yeah.
guys.
See you later.
Bye bye.